Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Cadicus, and today I'm giving you a review of the the Eventide H9 Core. No, I'm just gonna keep saying it until I get it right. The Eventide H9 Max Stomp Box Effects Harmonizer, blah blah blah. It's an effects pedal from Eventide, and I got it about a week ago, and I'm absolutely loving the thing. It sounds absolutely wicked, so I figured I would do a video review of it. Very quickly before I get started, please, if you get the chance, like my video right now, or dislike it. I mean, you haven't watched it, but I like the likes and the subscribes and all that stuff. If you can give it to me, then I know what I'm doing right. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into a review of the thing. I'm going to use two cameras to do this review. So first will be this perspective, and then once I get into the actual sound demonstration of it, I will move the camera to a shot of the H9 and the Medusa that I'm playing on, and not me. So first, let's have a look at the device itself. Just gotta pick it up. Okay, so here is the Eventide H9, and one thing I've got to say, when I've seen like videos for it and whatnot, it looks smaller in videos than it actually is. So it's actually a little bit bigger than it looks on camera. The construction's really good. I thought when I saw all the videos that the white part was plastic and the bottom part was like maybe plastic or metal, I don't know. It's all metal. The entire thing is made of metal except for the screen right there and the button right there. Like it's very well made. It's a little bit heavy even, but it's really well made. The buttons are nice and clicky. Like they're not too hard to press with fingers. The funny thing is, when like before I got into synthesizers and stuff, once I started getting into synthesizers, I was like trying to figure out a solution for effects and without using a computer. And I saw like guitar effects pedals in a store, and I was thinking, oh, I guess I can't use those for my synthesizers because it's a synthesizer, like their synthesizer, and this is for guitars. But actually, then I found out that if you get the right pedals, yes, you can. So I did watched some videos and things, and this one came up a lot, the Eventide H9. People were saying, like, if you can afford it, because it's a little bit pricey. It's probably like $500 or $600. I'm not sure what it is in your market. But they were saying if you can afford it, it's totally worth the price because it has so many effects, and the effects are really good. And I watched videos for it, and yeah, there's some really nice effects on this thing. So let's have a quick look at the outside of the device. Then I will flip the camera around and let you hear how it sounds. Okay. So on the back here, you've got two inputs and two outputs. You also have an expression input for expression pedal. There's a USB port up there. Power and what else? That's it. That's really all there is on the back. So two inputs, two outputs, an expression pedal, power, and a USB. On the side, you've got a mini in and out, and the out is also a through, so it's kind of multi-purpose in and out. On the front here, you've got your buttons for different settings that the knob will work for. You've got a hot knob button over here. You've got an X, Y, Z, and those are like three. Basically, this is hard to do with one hand. When you press one, it'll tell you some information about what will change by turning the knob down there. And then the last one is the presets. You click on that, and you can scroll through different presets that it will, put on the effects for the sound that you're running through it. So it's very basic. There's nothing else to it. As far as pedals go, if you've seen guitar pedals and stuff, then it's actually got a lot of ins and outs on it, like the MIDI and stuff like that. It's quite a bit for if you were to compare it to just like a guitar effects pedal with the like one input, one output, and a power. So yeah, it's actually pretty extensive in that way. Anyway, without further ado, let me get my camera set up on the Medusa and the H9, and we'll have a listen to it, like different sounds with it on and off, and different sound settings. Okay, so I'll see you in a second. All right, here we are back for the device part of the review. Just make sure the camera's lined properly. Pretty much. Let's see. Up a little bit. Sorry, gotta get mixed up here with the camera. Apologies. what you see isn't as important as what you're going to hear, so we'll just stick with that. Okay. Apologies for the sound quality. I'm kind of away from the microphone and it's sitting on the bed, so I have a very makeshift recording setup right now. Because why? Because I'm limited for space at the moment. So yeah. All right. So today I'm playing the sound through the Medusa, the Dreadbox Medusa right here, and I've turned the Eventide H9 upside down so you can see what the setting names are. We're gonna start with a basic one, which is basically a basic delay. So let's listen to a sound without an effect. Maybe we need to turn that up a little bit. 1 second here. Okay, there we go. It's not eardrum breaking. Let's turn on the effect here. Delay. So instantly there's a lot more volume, a lot more width to it. It's not just a delay. It quite strongly impacts the sound. Of course, you can tweak how much or how little, or you can, of course, tweak the presets for it. So here's the mix. Very low. Or way the heck up. You've got your feedback for A and B in these two here. It's basically an endless repeat. Feedback B. Okay, so that's just one effect. Let's try another. Echo. Again, we'll start with off. And then we'll turn it on. And then off again. So a lot more dimension to the sound when you have it on, of course. Next preset is slap. Not so noticeable yet. Let's see if we can't turn it up a bit. Yeah, maybe you'll notice that more than I do. I don't know. Here is thick, so you can probably guess what it does to the sound. It's kind of like a flanger or harmonizer. Yeah, so it's doing a few things there, not just harmonizing. Oh, this one's called Leslie. of just widens it a bit more, fattens the tone up a bit. There are a lot of effects, and I'm not going to go through all of them right now. Just giving you an example of perhaps some of my favorites. Let's see here. The next one we're going to try is, okay, here's a spring reverb. Let's try without it first. Let's sorry, I'm trying to find a decent sound to start with. Okay, that's an okay sound, but let's turn it down a little bit. Now let's turn the spring reverb on. Not so strong. Of course, I can turn the mix up. Turn up the decay a bit. Then dampen or strengthen the high. Pretty, kind of sweet. Next effect is drive. So it just amps it up quite a bit. Without it, I would imagine this would be a lot stronger with a guitar. This is kind of a flat tone coming from the Medusa at the moment, because I don't know how many oscillators it's using. It's using 3 analog oscillators at the moment. Turn up the digital. Let's turn off the drive. Kind of a lower growl, definitely a lot more dimension to it. Okay, let's try another preset. Meta. Off. And on. Cool. Next preset. And it's Streets. It's called Streets. Turning it on. It's a reverb. Let's turn our digitals down, okay. It's kind of a reverb and delay mixed together. Let's turn it off real quick. And then on. It's kind of a pretty sound, sweet. Let's go to another preset here. It's called Story Time, and it's basically an arpeggiator. That's without it. it off. And on. Now it's worth mentioning that even like this kind of effect here, if you have an iPhone or an iPad or a computer or a Mac, you can change um, specific settings about a preset. So, for example, this story time is like a specific set of chords for its arpeggio, but you can change that in the application. You can't do it on the device itself, but you can do it on the application. So yeah, if you plug it into a computer and you or your phone or whatever and you change it, then you can save it to the device, like save it right back to the device and overwrite whatever is on there by default. That's pretty cool. Let's continue on our little journey here. Only a few more patches before I wrap it up. This one's called Black Hole. It's also a reverb. I find it quite nice. It's quite tweakable. Let's try it without. Okay, that was cool. Now with it on. Kind of a cool little melody for it. It's called Black Hole, and that sounds like it's lonely off in space or whatever. That's without it. And with it. Haunting. Now the next effect is it's called shimmer. It's probably my favorite effect. I've tweaked it a little bit, but it came stock with the device, and then I just kind of changed the dimensions a little bit on the application. But it's probably my favorite effect. It's just so beautiful. However, it is not something that you'd want to use on every track because it's very specific sound. So it's like if you used it too much, it might sound like you're using the same instrument too much. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you a show. So what it does is it resonates, but it resonates like it basically pulls the note up really high, almost like a crystal effect. It's quite beautiful. There's without it. And with it. It's actually a very smart algorithm as well, because even if you play like poly notes, more than one note at the same time, it'll quite intelligently choose the best note to go high to and not like make it sound weird if you're making a chord and it doesn't choose an odd note to rise up to. I don't know how to explain that properly, but there's a lot that could go wrong if it's trying to emulate a higher note without some intelligent programming. So yeah, if it's getting really loud here, I'm sorry. There's a bunch of kids suddenly just showed up in my house. My wife's teaching. Anyhow, that's it's a pretty good demonstration of what it can do, the on and off of this thing, or like the comparison of sounds with it and without it, are just, in my own opinion, fantastic. I think it's a wonderful pedal. There's so many um, options with this pedal. There's even things like a loop function where you can record and play back on it on one like preset 99. There's a lot of opportunities or a lot of possibilities with it. So I find it's an awesome effects pedal if you can afford to get one. I'm really sorry about all the noise in the background. I'm making this review while I'm able to, and it's not an ideal situation, sitting on a bed with a mattress and blah blah blah. Anyhow, give me a sec. I'll flip the camera around and give my final thoughts on it. Okay. Okay, I'm back for the final part of the review. So yeah, my final thoughts on the H9 are that it's an awesome pedal. The sounds, I mean, I gave you lots of on and off comparison. That's one thing. I've seen a lot of videos for the H9, people reviewing it or whatever, but I felt that most of the reviews didn't do enough of like turning it on, playing the sound, and turning it off and playing the sound, and like giving a comparison, which is exactly what I wanted to know personally. It was like, actually, I felt like it sounded awesome, but I was trying to convince my wife that I needed one, and I wanted to be able to say, look, this is what it sounds like without, and this is what it sounds like with. And I felt that there weren't enough reviews that like compared the sound, like compared the like what something sounds like without it and with it. I will try to make another video later with like not a review but just a demo, with different devices going through it, like the Moog Voyager XL going through this thing with a nice reverb just sounds absolutely amazing. And there's like, I can try the OB6 through it, and not just the Medusa. There's plenty of stuff I can run through it and give some examples. So hopefully I'll be able to get to doing that pretty soon. If you've made it this far, thanks very much for watching, and I really look forward to making more videos and hearing what your comments are in the comment section. Again, if you haven't liked the video or disliked the video, just give me a like or dislike and leave a comment if you can. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I make videos semi-regularly, just little treats here and there. And yeah, that's about it from me. So thanks very much for watching again, and I hope to see you guys next time. This is Cadicus, out.